What's going on, guys? Charged up here in the garage with the R6. For today's video, let's talk about a maintenance pre-season checklist before you start riding. Firstly, I like to say whatever bike you have, whatever year, model, or anything like that, whatever you have, always check your owner's manual for on what and when things need to get done. If you're riding more often than not, you'll probably need to do more maintenance because you're using the bike. However, don't forget that if a bike is put away or even months throughout the winter season, you won't need to do as much maintenance, but it's always good to just double check before you head out there. Step number 1, walk around your bike. Check for any sort of fluid leaks, whether it be coolant, brake fluid, oil, anything. Just take a look around your bike, have a walk around, and just double check that things are the way they were when you put them away. When checking for leaks, there are 3 main areas that you want to look at. 1, the oil drain plug. 2, the rad or around the rad area. And number 3 is your fork seals. Another quick thing you can check while you do your walk around are your lights and signals. Make sure your headlights are working, your brake lights are working, and that your mirrors and nothing has any sort of damage to it, obviously while it's stored. Also, a big thing that I've noticed, and I've done this myself, is double checking your registration and your insurance. Sometimes you just want to get out there and get riding and you forget, oh my God, I've been riding for a month without insurance because I thought it ended on this month and it ended 2 months ago. No, that didn't happen to me. Regardless, make sure everything is up to date and you have the proper paperwork and you're ready to go. Step number 2 is the battery. Now remember, the battery has been sitting for months now. I've got my battery right over there. It's on a trickle charger. Hopefully you had yours on a trickle charger as well, so that once you take that battery, put it back in the bike, you can get that bike started on the first try. Keep in mind that even the best batteries out there have a shelf life. If your battery is older than 5 years old, or if you've noticed some issues while cranking over the motorcycle, it's probably a good idea to start thinking about having a replacement or just completely replacing it altogether. The last thing you want is to get stranded out on a long ride with no way to get back. That has also happened to me before with the Gixxer. Step number 3, tires and wheels. When checking your tires, you want to check the depth of your treads. Not only that, but you also want to take a quick look at the actual tires. Check for any sort of cracking or abnormalities along the sidewall as well. Make sure you check your tire pressures. Most likely you'll need to add air into your tires after it's been stored for a couple months. Now, while you're doing this is also a great time to check your wheel bearing and your steering head bearings. Now, in order to do that, you'll need to get the tires off the ground. Step number 4, the final drive. The most common type of final drive on sport bikes is the chain and sprocket. First thing you want to check on your sprocket is to see if there's any sort of excessive wear along the teeth. Secondly, we would go ahead and check out the chain to see if there's any sort of excessive wear or if the chain needs any sort of adjustment. I, for one, know I don't need my chain adjusted because I just did a video not too long ago. I'll put that in the top right hand corner if you guys want to see that. But yeah, I previously did that and I'm good to go. Now, if you do notice any sort of wear on your chain or your sprockets, it's always recommended to change these out as a set, not individually. And finally, when it comes to the final drive, clean and lube that chain. Once again, I previously did a video on lubing and cleaning your chain, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put that in the right hand corner. Regardless, all the video links will be down in the description below as well. Step number 5, the brakes. Let's check the brake pads, front and in the rear, and double check how much material we have on them. For most modern bikes, when it comes to the calipers, you can actually just peek into the side and see how much wear there is on the pads. However, at this time, you might also want to take off the calipers and actually do a good clean of them as well. I might actually be doing a video on that soon. Step number 6, fluids. Always remember that your bike's fluids need to be changed regularly. Always check your owner's / service manual for the intervals of when this needs to be done. Now, before I put my bike away for the winter season, I always do an oil change. So my oil should be good to go for the next riding season. However, I'm still gonna double check just to see how everything looks. Once again, I did a video on that as well, and I'll put that video link down in the description below. Now, generally, the oil should be changed at least once a year, but that also depends on how much you ride. I, for one, particularly 1 year with the Gixxer, I actually did, I think, 3 or 4 oil changes. I put 20,000 and 22,000 kilometers on in that year. Your coolant needs to be changed every 2 to 3 years. Now, I personally have not done my coolant as of yet, coming up on that 2-year mark, so it might be a video that I might do soon. At this point, since you're looking at the coolant, you might actually want to take a look at the reservoir and just double check that the levels are okay. Now, in general, I actually like to have the brake fluid done every 2 years. However, some manufacturers say to do it every 4 years. I recently actually changed up the brake fluid, and obviously I put steel braided lines on, so the brake fluid had to be changed. If you guys want to see those videos, once again, they'll be down in the description below. Step number 7, filters. Now, we obviously change the oil filter every single time we do an oil change. Or at least I hope you do. But we also have an air filter located underneath the gas tank that needs to be either cleaned or replaced depending on how much kilometers you do. Now for this R6 particularly, you don't need to actually change the air filter for about 37,000 kilometers, or I believe 22 or 24,000 miles. I personally have not done anything with the air filter. However, I think I might just for video purposes. Step number 8, the controls. Make sure you lube your throttle and your clutch cables. This is generally forgotten for the most part. Now you want to make sure that these are lubed regularly to have proper cable operation. Step number 9, hardware check. Take another walk around with your bike, maybe with 1 or 2 tools, and check for the critical fasteners. Mirrors, fairings, controls, basically all the hardware that might come loose due to vibrations while riding. Step number 10, wash your bike. Wash your bike. Get your bike ready for the riding season. Get your bike nice and clean. Get all that dust off your bike. Make it look nice and shiny for that first ride after a long hibernation. Finally, add some new gas to your gas tank and get out there and get riding. Now, if you guys want to see a complete checklist for everything I mentioned and more, take a look at the description down below. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell for future videos with the R6. Until the next one, guys.